Hello there, everybody, and welcome to New Jersey 101.5's new sports talk show, CB, Gavin, and the Slice in the Morning. It is now on the air. It is 9:12 a.m., and we are going to be talking about basketball and football. Specifically, in basketball, who is going to win the West? Gavin, what do you think?
I actually like their perennial loser, but I think they're going to turn everything around this season and finally take home the Western Conference title. I like the Los Angeles Clippers. I just love their moves over the offseason. Getting Jared Dudley and J.J. Redick, I think, are perfect role players on a title contender. They can both shoot, they can both pass, and they both play defense. And they have an excellent knowledge of spacing. They've played with dominant bigs before, so they know how to play with Blake Griffin. And talking about Griffin, I think he makes the leap this year. He's been kind of consistent for his 3 seasons, and he's kind of plateaued a little bit. But I think this is going to be the offseason where he finally perfects that jump shot, gets his free throws down. And I love the B.J. Mullen signing because their main problem last year was they didn't have a big to play in crunch time because DeAndre Jordan was a 40% free throw shooter. But Mullins can shoot, he's tall, and he can rebound. And the R.J. Bullock signing, draft pick, was also a great move because he dominated the Summer League, and he's another shooter, an athletic defender.
Now, a lot of analysts have said about Blake Griffin that one of his big problems is that he's not living up to his full potential when it comes to rebounding. Do you think he will remedy that problem this season?
I think he will because, despite that reputation, he's an incredibly hard worker. He was since his days at the University of Oklahoma, always spending extra time in the gym. I just think it's a matter of getting the right coach in there. And to be honest, they haven't had a legitimate NBA coach for the last 2 or 3 seasons. But now they have Doc Rivers, who's contended for titles year after year. And even when the Celtics were aging and they had somewhat inferior talent, they were still able to contend. Now that he has all that talent with him, I think Doc's going to get Blake Griffin to play up to his full potential.
All right.
And we're not even. I'm sorry for interrupting. Oh yeah, but they have all those shooters around him. Can't hurt because he's not going to face nearly as many double teams.
Very interesting. CB, do you have anything to add?
Well, first off, it doesn't even matter because the NBA Finals champion is coming out of the East. The Heat are the best team in the NBA by far, and there's only a handful of teams that can even come close to stopping them. And the Bulls and the Pacers seem to be the teams that can do it because of their defense, but in reality, there's probably not a team that's going to be able to stop the Heat. So
even after they lost Mike Miller, they barely beat the Spurs last year. Don't forget, they were one fluky bounce away from losing.
They're still a much better team than anyone in the West, and the Spurs are going to be worse this year.
Wade's older. Wade seemed like he was falling apart last year. You don't think Wade's going to break down?
No.
Bosh can't rebound.
All right. Well, all interesting opinions. We'll get back to them a little bit later. But right now, we have a caller on the line that wants to talk about the Carolina Panthers. We're going to talk live now with Weston from Charlotte. Weston, you are on CB, Gavin, and Slice in the Morning.
Hi, guys. Great to be on your show. Talking about the Panthers, do you think everyone knows the Buccaneers and the Falcons are going to be great? Do you think anyone's past that? Do you think the Panthers could actually be a better team than one of those two in the South?
Well, personally, I don't think so. I feel like they have pieces in place. Obviously, you have Cam Newton, you have Luke Kuechly. They've started to build the foundation for something that could be great in a couple of years. But right now, they're just saddled with too many bad contracts left over from the Marty Herney era to really compete with them. And Marty Herney, of course, being the recently fired GM. Gavin? Any thoughts about contenders and or the Carolina Panthers?
Yeah, well, as far as Carolina goes, I think most of their salary cap is focused on running backs, so I don't see them actually getting anywhere with that. Also, you might want to work on your grammar, Weston, but let's move on to title contenders. I personally like the Seattle Seahawks are my personal pick. Russell Wilson was, in a lot of people's opinions, and Bill Barnwell recently wrote an article on this, perhaps the greatest of all the rookie quarterbacks, extremely accurate, good runner, and they added pass rushing, so I personally don't see how they could blow it, especially with Percy Harvin. You're not going to stop that. Slice?
All right, CB, final thoughts.
Packers are going to win it all.
Slice, anything to add?
Well, they don't call you an analyst for nothing. Just kidding. I love you, CB. Anyways, that's all the time we have for this segment. We're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back here on CB, Gavin, and the Slice in the Morning.
Buy the car.